So next we have the Intel Core i9-12100HK, a high-performance mobile HCD processor built on the Intel Core 7 process. So this architecture features a total of 14 cores, 6 performance cores, and with hyper-threading and 8 single-threaded efficient cores, resulting in 20 total threads for application processing. So the block diagram on the right illustrates the platform topology. So it integrates a processor die and platform controller hub into a single package. So this integration supports extensive connectivity, including 8 lanes for PCI Gen 4 for discrete graphics, dual PCI Gen 4 storage lines, and integrated Wi-Fi 6E, ensuring high bandwidth directly to the CPU. So the i9-1200HK represents the flagship for 12th Gen Alder Lake mobile lineup. So it serves as the practical implementation of performance hybrid architecture, combining high-frequency execution for gaming and content creation with high-efficiency processing for background multitasking. So this diagram details the asymmetric multi-core organization. So unlike the symmetric legacy design, so this chip utilizes two core types connected to a ring interconnect. So the peak cores on the left are physically larger cores for feature a deeper pipeline optimized for single-threaded performance-heavy workloads like gaming. So each has a 1.25 MB of private L2 cache. The 8 cores on the right are organized in clusters of 4, sharing 2 MB L2 cache per cluster, and we handle the background, output, and scale multi-threaded tasks efficiently. So a shared cache at the bottom has a 24 MB last level cache is shared dynamically across all cores and the graphics engine, minimizing latency and maximizing data availability. So the hybrid architecture presents a scheduling challenge. So the operating system must know which core is best for specific tasks. So the Intel solves this with a thread director. So the thread director monitors the instruction mix and runtime state for each thread with a nanosecond precision. So it provides a real-time feedback to the OS scheduler, resulting to a compute-intensive task being routed to the peak cores, while background services and low-priority threads are assigned to the 8 cores. So this hardware-software integration optimizes the performance per watt without user intervention. So first of its attribution is the power efficiency. So the processor manages power via dynamic power states as seen in the figure on the left. So the PL1 represents the base power of 45 watts for sustained workloads, and PL2 represents the maximum turbo power of 115 watts, which allows the chip to boost performance for short bursts before returning to the base level. So on the right is the thermal management. So to handle the heat generated by these bursts, digital thermal sensors monitor the hotspots. So the thermal control circuit uses this data to modulate voltage and frequency, preventing the chip from exceeding the 100 degrees Celsius junction temperature limit. So next is the throughput and bandwidth. So to keep the 14 cores fed with data, the 1200 HK significantly increases the throughput of the bandwidth. The controller supports DDR5 4800 and LDDR5 5200. So this utilizes gear modes, gear 4 and gear 2 to allow the memory controller to run at lower frequency ratios during light loads to save power or ramp up for higher maximum bandwidth. It uses Thunderbolt 4 and PCIe Gen 4 interfaces integrated directly into the CPU, so this reduces the latency for high-speed peripherals and external GPUs compared to the routing them to a separate chipset. And that ends our presentation. Thank you for listening.